What's up, everybody? Welcome to Call to Action's favorite interview segment, Chill to Action. I am not Danny. Danny, my love, my work wife, she's having internet issues. So we're going to go without her, unfortunately, because as they say, the show must go on. We're going to miss her. But I did pull in one of my favorite co-hosts of all time. You know him. You love him. I didn't know him best from Houston when he went full Belford. It is Lil Belford. Billy Belford. How are you, my friend?
That's right. It's me. No, I'm not doing that crap. That's right. It's me. It's Belford. Because, I'm only here for the good shows. I'm only on the good episodes. Mm-hmm. And tonight, finally, to Chill to Action from his secluded cave somewhere in Croatia, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
The one, the only. Gucciverse.
What's going on, Mr. Gucci?
What's up, everybody? What's up? How's everybody doing?
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Fantastic.
Two of my favorite guys here, and the other girls are in the back chat room or something because they're not allowed to be on the camera with me, right, or something.
There's some kind of restraining order they had against you.
Is that what's going on?
Sure.
Yeah, the internet seems a little shaky to me.
We're trying to work out the legalese here.
I just made a really good tuna salad with some spinach, and I've been eating like a pristine animal. I'm getting fed like a tiger.
Yeah.
It's just, the stuff is amazing. I'm just doing amazing things here at my house. I'm becoming a new man.
You were saying that for a day. You are becoming a 5-star chef by the time you get out. We're gonna see.
That's true too. I got offered 3 jobs already, but to do some takeout and delivery, I'm like, look, do I look like I need to work right now? You know what I mean? And the guy's like, absolutely not. I'm like, well, don't ask me that ever again. So, he's fine.
I expect you to have like 5-star restaurants all throughout the land after this, though. Maybe New York, Tokyo, Croatia, all ready to go, right?
Yeah. Oh, easily. Not even a question about it.
I like the Rangers '94 playoff beard you got going on there. They're deep in the State Cup finals right now.
Yeah, this thing is crazy right now. Then I shaved my head bald before Harloff did. So, he might want to take that. Then I just been getting I got a really beautiful tan. I've been going off of, without a shirt on, but I kind of like this color on me. And my air conditioning's on now in here, so it's a little too cold for that. I don't want to get nippleitis, I'm scared. Especially the chicks in the back,
I've had that happen. It pokes the camera right off, and it breaks the lens. It's not good. It's not fun.
Oh, yeah. It's
want to Tic Tacs?
Yeah, not today. I can't, We're going to see it, though. We're going to see it.
Well, the first time in Call Action is Bobby Gucci, and also the first time I want to let everybody know in the chat, we have for the first time ever, we got Streamlabs and Super Chat. So come along this journey with us. If we fuck up, we might fuck up because this is how we roll. This is all new. We're going to try it today. I'll read anything you guys have to say. I might save things for different times. Don't worry, I'll get them. We have Kelsey, if you're little Kelsey and Kins in the background, she's taking care of documenting that kind of stuff down so I don't miss anything. And I'll try to read Streamlabs more towards the end in a big bunch as we're waiting for chats to come in and everything, as you know how the show goes. And with that, we're actually happy to have some coming in, but we'll get to those in a bit. We'll start off how we always start off. Usually we start off, it feels like a weird question to ask you, Bobby. We usually start off with, how did you get into the Schmodown? Well, I mean, you were there right in the beginning. So I guess I'll alter the question a little bit and say, what was your reaction? What did you feel when Christian asked you about or told you about what he was planning and how it has evolved since then?
Well, when I first recognized it, I mean, when they started doing the little trivia things, that happens on every podcast. When JT was playing, the artist formerly known as Copster, and then I think there was a couple of Makuga versus somebody, and then I don't think he realized what he was actually doing until it started taking off, and then he's like, "Wow, this is actually pretty interesting." Because I mean, like I said, if you look at it in its infancy, it was lunacy. Nobody knows what's going on. Half those names and this, that, nothing would fly anymore. Like half those answers would be wrong. And you had guys like me and Makuga ranked in the top 5. They wouldn't be ranked in the top 5 anywhere anymore. Especially how good these guys are. So I mean, the game has taken a whole new, turn. I mean, it's a real game now. Back in those days in Toad Hop and wherever we were, or Maria Menounos' studio, and it was basically just fucking around. And when you start winning championships, you're like, oh man, this is actually pretty good. And then all the fans just started going, like, more trivia. And we had enough personalities to make something work like that. And, we were the first guys, me and JT were like the first guys to come in with, like, the entrances and costumes and all these other kind of crazy things where we like talk shit about people. And so if anybody wants to talk about who's the inventors of, like, giving people the business and being heels and things like that, it was me and JT were rocking all those guys right from the get-go, and I was just being Finstock, so it is what it is. So I'll give him that anyway. So as I'm on it, like, I'm playing this guy, he's a loser, and that's what's pretty much going to happen. And then from there on out, it built from there, and then it just took off like a Chinese bullet train through Tokyo. And then the Tokyo is Japan, everybody knows that. But so the thing is, unfortunately, this stupid pandemic, ruined what I think was something that was going to be pretty magical. I think the season was going to take off to new levels, especially with the ESPN stuff and Skybound and all these other people jumping on board for this thing, and how serious people were taking it and how great the live events were. It's a real shame that this can't go on like this as of right now. But I mean, look, there's bigger fish to fry right now with the whole. It's not just about the Schmodown here. There's a lot of other things going on, and it's clear. I mean, trust me, it should be all about the Schmodown because I'm in it. But it isn't. So, but it should be. But no, I miss baseball. I miss everything. Going to places and doing what I do in bars and stuff like that, which is always fun. And you miss the camaraderie. Who knows where it's going to go and how it's going to go, but hopefully when this is called off, we figure out a way to get this thing going. So, we could just, Finstock Exchange can keep piling up more points,
It's going pretty good for you guys. I mean, it's not going so good for some others, like Shannon Barney, unfortunately, who did try to do a nice song today on the chat. But
but she's winning in the song department.
Yeah,
she's got some musical skill that we didn't know about.
Yeah, she's winning.
Are we going to see a Finstock?
She's not winning doesn't mean she's not winning.
Yeah. I think, I mean, look, everybody, all those managers, it's their first time through the gauntlet here. I don't think they have. I don't think they knew what they were getting into, to be honest with you. To let a couple of people fall deeper into the draft and not doing your homework. There's still people on the board that are better than some people have on their teams. You know what I mean? So
True.
There's ways to look at it. And, going with the drafting the 10 guys was something I wanted to do. 10 people. I mean, obviously I got women on my team as well. But, some people didn't want to take all 10. I think Sam stopped at 8 or somebody else did that. I'm like, why are you guys doing that? Like, why would you even do that? Take your team and run with it. That's what I'm saying. These people just don't really understand. And hence why the leaderboard is where it's at,
Yeah, it's not a little league team where everybody has to play, so you can draft 10 players. If you don't want them, you drop them later and pick another one up. So
absolutely, not even a question about it.
Speaking of your draft, you obviously the first 4 rounds were set in stone. We knew who those were going to be. Everyone knew Rocco was going in the 4th round.
Absolutely.
I had that on my draft board. Literally the day before the draft. Paul and I did a preview of the draft, and I said, Rocco's going to go in the 4th round. He's going to be pissed. We let it off, and then the next day that happens.
Yeah.
But it has the best line. The best line ever of Danny, I ain't no 4th round player.
Yeah, I know. I was like, Jesus.
History.
Some people react to things differently. I owned up to that. I didn't think about ego at that point. I don't really think about that. I think about winning. And I should have said, hey, just give me my 4 picks and let's not even go up there. You know what I mean? I didn't think it was going to mean something like that, but apparently it did. And, look, when you're the best and, your team is the best, there's people are going to come at you. People are going to stir the pot to do anything they possibly can to take you off the top. Let me tell you something. It's like a lot of these other managers, a lot of these other people, they're like climbing a little mountain to look over to see the castle, right? And then they make their way to the castle, and they're like so happy to see it. They're probably finding their personal legend, and then they go knock on the door of the castle, and it's just us right behind there. So it's like they're just coming to see us in the castle. So that's their thing. They could do their little pilgrimage through the desert, do whatever they want. Get to the castle, you're going to see us there. Period.
Fair enough.
Tom, some of these people look over that hill and they think they see a castle. It's a duplex on Melrose. They don't even know what a castle looks like. You guys are living in the castle on top of the hill. And as the only manager who's not looking up at Robert Meyer Burnett in the standings,
he's a moron, but he drafted better than a lot of other people, and I'm not going to say who they are, but he drafted a lot.
To be fair, he drafted only the names that he knew. For Robert Meyer Burnett to know your name.
I think he went on to like a fan chat or something and found all the names, and they, because he, like I said, is a I called him this before. He's an artist. He's a great documentarian. Documentarian. He is a good editor. Mm-hmm. He is a good actor, but he's also another kind of artist, a choke artist, a loser artist, and more or less just like a big mouth artist. So that's what he's doing, but good for him,
Every dog has his day, I guess, right?
He's a second place artist right now.
That's what he is. He got a couple of big wins and took down a couple of big teams that really shattered a lot of people's dreams. Coming out.
Second round pick hasn't even played yet.
I know. I know.
But what if second place the first loser, though? Really?
That's true. That's it. That's exactly what it comes down to. I think when you look at somebody who's got a big trouble, Roxy's in big trouble. When you lose a couple of games there with big boys, it's hard to come out of the gate. Coy with when Bibiani and the other guy lost in the first round. I mean, lost in New York in a live event. That takes them guys out of the singles competition for a while, maybe almost till the tournament time. So there's a lot of things to think about here, and how they're going to operate. And they got a lot of soul searching to do. If I was them, I'd think about trading a couple of people. They should start doing that. And I think you might see some bigger names traded when this thing gets back into the functioning. It's definitely a possibility if people want to stay in the hunt, because nobody wants to finish last.
Are you open for trading anybody at this point?
Yeah, I mean, look, nobody who has won. That's for sure. Nobody who has a belt. That's
so
for
looking
sure.
to trade Ben Bateman is what I'm hearing right now. I'm taking out of this.
No, Bateman won. Bateman won his team's match. Give him a little bit of credit.
Absolutely,
they carried him to that victory. It's fine.
Let's clip it out.
There's some really good players. There's a lot of good players out there, but we have the best players. We have the best 4 players. Then I think the next guy on that list is Barbarian. You got to.
Who would have thought that was your best pick in the draft?
Oh my God, that guy is
4 all-time greats, and that's your best pick.
Did you know you were getting Elvis when you got Barbarian, or?
No, I told you about Elvis. I was telling, I forget who I told the other day. Me and Christian were talking about, because he's like, he's just wearing a T-shirt and this, that, and the other thing. I'm like, I got something for him. Don't worry. But I really didn't have anything for him. So I had to find something for him to make it true that what I said to Christian, is believable. So my girlfriend comes home with, she has this big jacket on with this fur thing on it. And I was like, hey, I didn't even say, hey, I was like, hey, is that detachable? And she's like, no, hi. I'm like, yeah, hi, but is that detachable? And she's like, yeah, I think so. I'm like, all right, cool. She's like, why? I'm like, I don't know. Now it's Barbarians, and she hasn't seen it since.
Probably doesn't want to. He's been stroking quite a bit. I'm not sure if you want to get it back at this point.
Yeah, and then I gave it to him, and Christian's like, "That's perfect." And I was gonna have him wear it around his neck like that, and he was just like, "I'm gonna call it Elvis." I'm like, "That's fantastic." And then I was like, "You should just make it." Me and Christian were just like, "You should make it, a kind of be like your mini me or something." And he's like, "Yeah." And he just rolled with it. He's fantastic. And another side note, he's going through some rough times, so everybody hopefully prays for him. And
yes, very much so.
Yeah, he's going through a tough one, especially when you're in this kind of world we're in right now, which is a terrible one, and it's just unbelievably bad to get double whammied on something like that is even more unbelievable, catastrophic.
Absolutely.
So yeah,
thoughts are with him.
It was a great visual of him when he walked out for I think it was the tag match with Who's the Boss, and he walks out first with Elvis on his shoulder, and then everyone else walks out, and they all have a belt on their shoulder.
Yeah,
so
it's amazing.
Elvis is his belt.
Yeah, we got the best entrance. We got the best everything. When we come out,
You have a belt.
It just gets real crazy. So, you walk out with those guys. People are legit scared. Like, other managers I won't name, they won't come up to me and be like, "Man, I got no shot." I'm like, "Yeah, you ain't got no shot. I mean, definitely got no shot." And it's like other people, but I'll tell them, and then one person, like I said, they're like, "Oh, looking like we can catch you guys." I'm like, "You guys just keep looking. Can't find nobody." So we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Well, the only negative thing about the exchange so far obviously has been the communication issues.
Yeah.
A little bit of alpha dogs exploded here and there.
Yeah, things happen.
Are we? How are we now? I haven't heard anything. A little bit. Are we calm
We're
down?
good. We're good. I mean, we're doing really well right now. We're still in constant contact with everybody. I mean, everybody's got their shows. Everybody's doing some really cool shit. And you see them all the time. It's like when you look at nice, Tim Franco. He's my boy. Tim Franco actually beat me the other day in Cards Against Humanity. Yeah, it came down to the final question. We had both I think we both had 8 cards in our thing, and somebody cheated. It wasn't Tim Franco. I think it was somebody else. I'm pretty sure it was PJ or somebody did it. I don't need
the nicest human being in the world cheating.
Sweetheart ever. PJ Campbell.
That villain.
Somebody cheated.
No villain.
Yeah. I was like, how does that not win? So, that's for sure.
Cheated RB3?
Yeah.
That game was built for you. And I just like perfect for that game.
Oh my God. We crushed it. It was really, really fun.
It's not dark for Tom.
Yeah, PJ does it every weekend or something. I think he has special guests and
I think so. He's been killing it over there.
Maybe Evan, that's who did it.
That's what it is.
Oh,
it is. Evan DeGraff.
He's probably Canadian. I don't know.
Yeah, he cheated.
He's got a lot of Canadians. So
yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Next time I'll win. I told them to have me in like the middle thing, like the Hollywood Squares. Like they always had the same guy in the middle.
Center square. The Whoopi Goldberg.
You don't even need to go anywhere. Just put me in every single match.
Speaking of matches, you got one coming up, or at least I might have taped already, but it's going to be aired soon regardless. You and Kaiser.
Yeah. It's a good match. I think, it's going to be fun. I've beat him a couple of times in a row. I mean, obviously, I beat him in the show. I beat him in Orlando. I beat him at the baseball card game that Mark Ellis throws. So we'll see. He needs a win against me more than I need a win against him or anybody.
You think he's desperate at this point? Is he that desperate at this point?
He could be. I mean, he's got a lot of time in his hands too. I mean, everybody does. So maybe he's studying. That could be a possibility. Me, if I know him, he's probably not. But anything is possible. So we'll see how it goes. I'm ready. If it comes to I haven't really been doing too much movie stuff. I've been watching more TV. I spend a couple of hours a day out in the park and I'm reading books. I'm just trying to make myself a smarter person than, like I said, I already am. But to get to a point where I can really start seeing the world a lot clearer.
I get that. Speaking of TV, it does seem like that big show there, the Netflix, Tiger King, was that based at least partially on your life somewhere?
A little bit. Well, I mean, because remember I used to make, I tried to raise funds to save Kenny the Down syndrome tiger back in the day. It was a white Down syndrome tiger. And, people were like, "Is that real?" I'm like, "Yeah." What do you mean? Is it real? What do you think they're doing? Like pixelizing his face? He's Down syndrome.
Make that up.
So, yeah, I mean, So he was inbred like 1,000 times or something. And then what happened was they put him to sleep apparently, and I got a little bit of his ashes, and they're on my mantelpiece out here. So I knew somebody at the Tokyo Zoo. So everything works out for the better, I guess.
You're
You
big
know.
in Tokyo.
Took that bullet chain, that
Yeah.
bullet train to the Tokyo Zoo.
Exactly. It's really what it comes down to, you know. It's been good stuff. It's been good stuff.
Will any of the characters from Tiger King be appearing on Little Bobby and the Juice in the future?
Oh, I'd love that. I mean, because I am doing an episode with Bobby and Juice of they're trying to rescue Kenny, the Down syndrome tiger, and I have about a tiger from 1976 that looks exactly like Kenny. He's a white tiger. It's amazing stuff. And then I got like two little Black Panthers here that I got at the bowling alley, and then they also
So Chadwick Boseman will be in the
Chadwick Boseman, whatever the hell I said. There, and Damien Casile. I spelled the name. That was bad. I mean, I should at least got one of them. That's what I was. Yeah, at least one. But yeah,
you know the answer, and that's all that matters.
I was going by Tom Erotic instead of Joe Exotic.
I like that. Distant cousins, maybe, or is it?
Yeah. If this guy didn't come back around, then I would have done that. If Finstock didn't come back around, I would have segued off Gucci and went to that homie. The homie's there. I got my shirt on him. It's terrible. But anyway, what I was saying though is, yeah. I mean, look, you know, I can go as Tom Erotic. We'll see how it goes. I may dress up for him like that. I mean, I run the town over here. I'm going to try for mayor of Burbank. I walk around without a shirt, probably for the last 2.5 months straight. The neighbors are like, "What in the world is going on?" I hang out at the park. The parks are closed. They let me hang out there. I'm just doing all the good stuff, man. They can't stop me out here. Burbank has no shop. So.
Why would they try? Why would they even try?
Mm-hmm. Speaking of getting a Finstock coming back, the mask has now returned.
Yes.
By Andrew Guy, of all people.
Yeah, that was a really weird situation. I didn't know what was going on. I was just, doing my usual,
surveying the roof.
Yeah, the roof, surveying the terrain, seeing what was going on. Because you could actually look into, there's a really hot woman that lives across the street over there. So if you go on top of if you go on top, no, stop.
Gucci has a map of where all the really hot women are, and the roof access allows you to view them.
Yep, easily too. Yes, very easily. So anytime that happens, we're in big business. So yeah, but yeah, it's back. I mean, I don't know where he was coming with it. We don't really talk inside the Schmodown. I mean, we never really had any kind of beef. Wasn't really anything like me versus him ever. It was just him baiting it in, wherever else he had his beef with Roca before this, and then Burnett now and the whole shebang. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what's going to be come of this. I appreciate having the mask back. That always works. It doesn't make a difference. I mean, I could Finstock can come back whenever he feels like it, or Gucci can do whatever he wants. Tom Dagnino can do whatever he wants. Maybe Tom Erotic comes in now. Who knows?
That would be perfect.
Yeah.
Well, anyone can be. Anyone can be Finstock. So you could have someone else wearing Elvis could be Finstock. If you have the mask,
that would be hilarious. Yeah, that would be unbelievable.
That's again in another episode of Little Bobby and the Juice.
Totally. Who would make the best Finstock out of the Schmodown right now? Who can we put in that mask?
That would really just crush it.
Really just crush it.
That can be that guy. Let me think. Who knows? It might be a girl.
Shannon Barney could be Finstock.
You know what? That might not be. That's not a bad idea right there. She's actually really funny, and she could be really wild. So that can really work. Not a lot of other people can do it.
Tim Franco could be Finstock.
Tim Franco could probably play it too. Yes, I think so too. He's a possibility. That's and Draco played him the one time, but he wasn't good because he didn't win. No. So he wins, and it would have been perfect. I don't know. I'd have to really think about even making anybody put that on again. Other than my girlfriend. So we'll see how that.
Guy had it, so you want to get it cleaned, and Burnett had it before that, so you really want to get it cleaned.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know where that guy had it. I mean, shit. I don't even want to think about it because he's living like the outskirts of Van Nuys, and I don't know what happened there.
Oh, and also have the hot man of the chat as well. Want to say hi to you, Billy, if you saw that, just so you know there. Brandon had Billy.
Yeah, I like Lil. I like Lil Belcher.
That's right.
Yeah, Lil.
And I knew what was going to happen tonight, so I wore my T-shirt specially for it. I knew what was going on. When first comes around,
always
shenanigans ensue.
Sure. Oh yeah,
nice.
Is that the inaugural?
That is the first real super chat of the show.
Yeah. Nice, dude. Nice.
The man of the myth, the Gucci. All hail, Bobby Finstock.
I just try my best. You know?
Always, man. Always.
I just try my best. I try to put on a show.
Well, we also do. We talked about little Bobby and the Juicy. Are you working on season 2? Is that going to come out?
So I actually filmed a little more. We've been filming all week.
Okay.
The first episode is called Service Dummy. The second episode is called Dildo Murder. And there's a lot of this season's gonna really go off the charts because I wrote something in the quarantine, and you don't know really where your head goes at this point. You start going off to some weird land, and that's what did this one. So we'll see with like I said, Service Dummy is where it takes it's a little gag on how everybody's bringing like dogs and cats to take with them to shopping centers and the whole shebang to apparently help with depression and anxiety and every other disease there is in the world. Who knows? But it's like and then Bobby Bobby runs into a problem, Juice runs into a dummy, and then the rest is history. So we'll see how it goes out. It's going to be amazing.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
That's a good question. How many goldfish have been won?
Oh man, see, a lot of people were winning them for a long time. They were winning all over the place at Collateral Live. I mean, people were saying stupid things, and they were just getting goldfish left and right. I have Carl over here. He's actually going to play. He's going to be in jail this season, Carl. It's going to be awesome. Yeah.
Well, Win a Goldfish here was the go-to, if you went to any Schmodown related thing or in the chat, it was Win a Goldfish here, no matter what. Now, recently, it's been kind of supplanted by Zaflirtenflaus. I don't know if you know about Zaflirtenflaus.
Who the fuck is that?
That is Brett Sheridan's German pop star character that he has on
fake German pop star. Yeah. The fake
little bit of hair there.
Yeah, that's some weird stuff. Is he still around?
He's taking a little bit of a break. I think they don't want to overload him. He's still got the tough, the hair's still there, so he can come back at any time. I think.
Really?
I think they're pushing for a match between you and him at some point.
Ooh, I'm sure his wife loves it.
The audio of him shaving it and his wife yelling in the background. Don't you do it?
Crazy. I think he made out pretty well. But I was thinking, with him and the way Christian operates, Christian has been known to beat a dead horse. He'll revive it and then kill it again. It happened. He does that every once in a while. But I think he knows a good thing when he sees a good thing, and he'll play it for as long as he can.
Right.
And I think he'll get it. He's a comedian. He knows when the joke's dead. And I don't know if the joke's dead because I haven't seen it in a little bit. I do a lot of other things around that time frame, so I really can't watch anything.
And of course, sometimes a good comedian knows when the joke is dead. You keep holding on for it a little longer, and it comes back to being funny again. Sometimes. Right.
That's the thing. That's the thing.
That is a skill.
Ride the wave.
Well, Win a Goldfish, it was great, and then he just beat it. And then everybody hated it. And then Cody would drop it at the perfect time, like 3 or 4 weeks later when no one heard it. And it's perfect.
Exactly.
So there was one point he was just playing it like the whole show. It was just it's fun. I died laughing every time I heard it. But I guess, that's because I did it. But
it's gotta feel good when you go to a live event and people are yelling out "Win a Goldfish" here, like this random thing created.
I mean, it was my uncle who came up with that phrase because he used to run. He was a carny. He was at the St. Gennaro Fest and fairs around the Bronx and Manhattan and stuff like that. And he had a couple of little booths, and one was the Goldfish booth. And it was where you have the little ping pong balls and you throw it in there and you win a goldfish and do. But he always used to go, win a goldfish, yeah, win a goldfish, yeah. And I'm like, why? I hated it. And but it was like that's all he did, because it's like, if you're at a game, they're like, get your peanuts here, stuff like that. And then he just went through with win a goldfish here, so I put it there. And then when my buddy did the voice, I was like, Jesus Christ, this is great. And then we just rolled with that. So it was really funny stuff.
It was the tiniest little snippet in the episode. Like it's
all
not
it
even
really
like
was. Yeah, it's all
one time, and then it just caught on, blew up.
You never know what's going to catch on.
No, you never really know, and that's the thing. Because I didn't think Carl was going to be the star of the thing. I had no clue, and then he just blew up. And then it was like, "We want to see Carl." I'm like, "Fuck, I got to put this motherfucker in more episodes."
Okay, Brennan Buckingham with super chat. We'll see what's out there. It was hard to talk last night on Riley's stream last night with you and Kaiser. Brandon Buckingham was on the stream with Riley at the end there, towards the end. I remember that. That was a crazy stream.
Oh, it was crazy. Yeah. Well, I mean, me and Kaiser we were drinking early, talking about stuff. And then we got on the show, the Finstock Exchange show, which is doing pretty well over there too. They're just starting out. They're pretty good guys. We have a whole bunch of new announcements coming with that as well. We rocked that for a little while. Oh man. Then we went to then we were on another stream after that. And then we jumped on a Riley stream. So it was like 2 o'clock to whatever. It was just a lot of drinking, there was no more tequila in my house. There's a lot of stuff there. So that's why I'm taking the week off of drinking, because yesterday was a lot.
There was a lot of alcohol had, that's for sure.
There was a lot. There was definitely a lot. Riley,
good.
Thanks too. Yeah, it's pretty good stuff. So
got to watch the Finstock Exchange podcast. It was pretty good as well. Our boy Larry Payne is an Action Army general, also he's on that. And
Larry's a homie.
Of course, Josh Estes. I gotta say, I have a bet going with Josh Estes over the Back to the Future exhibition match. About $20 and some kind of big shout out on our podcast. I got Smets. He has, of course, Gilmore. So Estes, you're going down, buddy.
Yeah, no, Smets is a good player, man.
Yeah.
Smets is the only thing. Well, it's Robert Parker and Smets, Kaiser's got. I mean, other than that, because we were on the show last night talking about what was his thought process behind that. Look, I didn't know. I knew Robert Parker was going to go high, but I didn't think he was going to go that high. I mean, Kaiser wanted to trade up to get him because he heard Roxy was going to take him, but Roxy wasn't taking anybody. He took JT in the 4th round. The guy doesn't even live on the planet. So unbelievable stuff. The worst. You got to grab the Barbarian. 30 picks before him. Moron. And you see things like that, and I was just like I said, the only person I thought was going to take Barbarian was Burnett, but then he took the Warfather, who looked somewhat like him, because Burnett had Ethan Irwin, and Irwin was saying that Barbarian was a really good player. So
yeah, that's his boy. That's
that's why I was probably going to take him. I was like, if this guy slips, I'll take him. And then me and Bateman were talking, and he's like, we need an IG Star Wars guy, so we took Andrew, and he basically then went with the Barbarian. So,
well, that's the question. Actually, I want to ask Robert Burnett at some point. Did he actually just confuse the Barbarian and the Warfather? Similar names?
I kind of think he might have, or the idiot just probably wanted to yell Warfather at the draft.
That could be.
Yeah.
Well, he saw Warfather do it, and he thought it was cool. So
right. I think that's what it was, because he probably meant to say that, but I don't know how that worked out. But either way, it worked out for us.
They do fit in together. I think they actually fit in very well together.
Interesting characters,
very much.
Man, this year there have been 2 amazing debuts. Robert Parker's debut obviously was amazing, but everyone kind of expected that. Barbarian's debut was like off the charts, ridiculous.
Oh man, I was like, I'm sitting in the back with him, and I'm like, "You ready?" He's like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "All right, cool." And then I was talking to Christian off to the side. I'm like, "This guy cannot shit the bed here." He's like, he goes, "I don't know what he's going to do," and I'm like, "Yeah, me either." And but then once he got the perfect round, I was like, I think we might have something here. And he had the persona there too. I was like, "This is perfect." He spilled it. He spilled everything with that for sure.
You can tell he's a good character or a good competitor when he they're halfway through reading the question and he's already like,
yeah. Oh, of course. I mean, I think he really was ready for the prime time, and because when you manage rookies and things like that, some of them don't know the game. Some of them get shook under the lights. there's so many different things a rookie can do. You know, they can answer every single question in the world, you know, on a whatever, on a, you know, fan page or whatever. But when you get into, you know, under the lights, it's not easy for anybody, especially like live shows too, which is, you know, pretty damn hard to do. Under the lights with, you know, 500-600 people there, and, you know, in Chicago's case it was 1,000 people there. You know, it gets to the best of them. You know, it gets to the best of them. You'll see it, and then you know, and then there's some people who just shine all the time. So,
yeah,
absolutely.
And that's why they're on the Finstock exchange, I guess, because they shine all the time.
That's exactly why. You know, I mean, it's like, don't hate me for being beautiful. You know, I tell all the people that. I'm like, look, there's no possible way. I mean, they're like, well, you had the first 4 picks. I'm like, it doesn't really make a difference if I had the first 4 picks. It doesn't make a difference. I had them because I won, like the previous year. So that's all that matters.
You can't blame me for that. Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what do you want me to do? Trade these guys to you? Let you win? It's not going to happen.
And you could have walked out of Spectacular last season with none of those picks. Absolutely. Because they all had to win at Spectacular, the biggest stage of the Schmodown, you know? So
100%.
Bateman had to win twice.
Yes, not even a question about it. And it happened. So, you know, like I said, not my fault.
Well, speaking of that, now let's talk. Going back to the communication issues, you had the issue with them who's going to manage Bateman or Merle or whatever. Now, have you guys worked that out? So if that happens again, you know what's going to happen? Like, say Roca faces Merle, or say Bateman faces.
Probably going to happen. Or Bateman, or who's the boss faces Founding Father. I mean, it could be any of these.
Absolutely.
I mean, when Christian was putting up this, drawing up this crazy scenario, I just don't think. And, you know, maybe he didn't cover that. It's hard to cover every single basis, you know. But the way you see it is he didn't. There was a couple of things that he left out, and that was one of them. You know, you can't be 2 places at one time, even though people think I can be. I just really can't. I think it could lead to controversy, and I think it totally did, because, you know, like Bateman was saying, is he going to lean on me for trivia knowledge and testing him? No, he's not. Is he going to lean on me to make him feel like he's invincible? Yeah, you know, and those are big differences. Now, Merle, you know, he's a consummate professional as well. You know, we hype each other. I hype him up. I give him the confidence. Now, he works with John really well. They're the tag team champions. I think it kind of worked out fine. I wish it wasn't the case, but once again, we're both in the championship. Once again, and like I said, don't hate us for being beautiful. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, other managers have some really bad problems they have to worry about. You have to worry about which of your competitors you're going to manage in the championship match that are all your competitors.
That's pretty much exactly right. So, I mean, these are all good problems. Good problems are not, you know, unfortunately, not a lot of people have good problems, or they wouldn't be called good problems. They're usually bad problems, right? You know, because when you say problem, you're not thinking good automatically. You're thinking bad,
right?
But the problem is, we only have good problems at this current time, and you know, like Roca said, and like all these other guys say, you know, everything will come to fruition. You know, everybody talks things out. We're a brothership, and you know, we got our brothers and sisters on the team. You know, Emily lost it down over there in you know, Atlanta, and she tried her hardest. She's going to come back. She's like, I'm going to study harder and be a better person. And I'm like, that's all we're looking for. You know, you better, or you're going to take a hike. So, you know, just, you know, real talk there. That's the way you got to look at it. You know, we demand perfection over there. And, you know, there's a couple of things I probably could have did differently. I felt that they gave us a couple of quick 5 counts like Harloff usually does when I'm on the stage. You know, if you notice it, I mean, I did a lot of research. There was a guy who was doing a lot of research a couple of years back, and he said that, yeah, it's like 1 second. He said Finstock character. He goes he gets like a 3-second like leeway, or not even a leeway. Just like everybody gets like 10 more seconds than him before the 5 count goes up. And they're trying to make a decision. He calls that 5 very quickly. Why? Some guy did it. I know. I saw him. He had it.
I'll have to see that.
It was documented.
Documented down.
I think Christian buried it.
Well, we're gonna have to unbury it to find that out for you.
Yeah.
You know, we have the going on right now on ESPN. There's that Michael Jordan Chicago Bulls documentary going on. When's the stock exchange? You know, the last Gucci or documentary about your genius of managing all of these personalities and all these alpha dogs. I mean, Phil Jackson only had to manage one Michael Jordan. You have to manage four. So.
Four Michael Jordans at the same time,
and possibly five.
Yeah,
and and the other guys too. Not to diminish their skills either. Here's the way I see it. If we're gonna sit there and do a documentary on this season, it would have been great. It would have been fantastic if we would have just filmed us and all these. I mean, we do film, but not as much as we probably should have. If we hired like some guy just to follow us all around and backstage stuff and all those kind of things, which would be really cool. I mean, totally something doable with next year if we get into this. I just don't understand or know. I don't think anybody knows when this will continue, how it will continue. Is it going to be a strike short? I mean, a pandemic shortened season where they're just like you can't shoot anything until January. Technically we'll be finished at that point. And do we win? I guess we win. But I don't like to win like that. I want to win. From start to finish.
Win.
Yeah, exactly. No question. And I think that, and everybody will obviously say, "Oh, he didn't really win because we only got to have the season. People never play, whatever." I mean, it is what it is. The proof's in the pudding as of right now. And there was we were on a steam. Like I said, the Chinese bullet train to Tokyo again on that one. So that wasn't going to stop us from doing anything.
The one thing you don't want to be is the Montreal Expos from the strike sorting season. The one chance they had to win the World Series gets wiped off the books. So.
Yep, pretty much. That's pretty much the way it went.
Very sad. Very sad for them.
Yeah,
and then that team got blown up. So we don't want the Finstock Exchange to get blown up after the strike.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. The only way it's going to happen is if
you got 4 nut jobs, powder kegs. Weston might be the powder keg.
Yeah,
you have 4 powder kegs waiting to explode. Definitely 2. All right.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Merle's whatever. I'm just here to win championships and answer trivia questions.
Right.
And Riley's like, you can't question my legacy and let's talk Star Wars.
Right.
But you have the immovable object of John. I'm so old I can't move Roca. That's why he's the immovable object. And then you have the force, Ben Bateman.
Yeah.
So,
and these guys are big egos, man. These guys are big time players, and they deserve to have those egos, and they deserve to have the respect and that they want given to them. And you can't hate it. It's just these guys are just that good. And they deserve what they deserve, and they feel they should get what they want, and they usually do. A lot of the other managers are pissed because they're like, "Oh yeah, this guy has all his players in the live events." I'm like, "Yeah, because we're winners and we have belts, and this is what draws the crowds in. These are they're not just great personalities; they're the best players in the league. It's like it's a double whammy, and not many people have the double whammy on our team. Not many people have the personality that goes along with the skills." Now, there's a lot of people who have great skills on the mic, but they just can't play trivia. And then there's a lot of guys who are great at trivia, but can't play on the mic. Right. Guess what that equals? No live show for you.
That's exactly true. Exactly true.
That's the thing. That's it. That's what it comes down to. A belt should be on the line every single live event. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to mention any names, but I don't want to discredit anybody playing. But if it's like somebody versus somebody, like everybody's going to be like, do I really want to go to this show? Maybe I'll just hang out the bar and wait till they come out there. I mean, it is what it is. So you got to look at that as well.
Okay. So I mean, especially because they're trying to sell out, bigger and bigger
for
theaters.
Sure. Yeah.
So it can't just be like the main event because you want to attract more people with the undercard as well. You want to get as many people in there as you can. So.
Sure. I think they should do 3 matches, to be honest.
I agree. I
think it can go to that eventually. It'll be, almost like what we did in Orlando, which is like a warm-up event of me versus Kaiser versus Emma, something that gets the crowd laughing. It's like what WWF used to do. They start the show off with some like
jobbers.
Yeah, exactly. Just get somebody on there, get people laughing, get people time to get a couple of drinks in them. They don't care who wins. We'll put on a show. It's pretty much what it comes down to. And then, you throw the second match, which is a big one, the undercard. And that could be like a tournament semifinal or whatever the case may be.
Number one contender.
Right. And then you just throw the championship match. But because right now when you see a championship match, what you saw with Merle and Bateman was just unbelievable stuff. Like, I mean, we're on the edge of our seat and we're on a stage with it. It's just unbelievable. Like, what a match. You know, you can miss one question, you know, nowadays and you're finished, or you bet one extra point on your betting round. There's so much different strategy that a lot of these yahoos don't understand about managing. Is like, oh yeah, he knows nothing about trivia, so how's he really helping somebody? No, you got to make sure that what you know is your opponent's weaknesses. What do you think they're going to do on these betting rounds? Are you better them at the speed round? There's so many different things that go along, especially with making your competitors believe in themselves, which is not an easy thing to do either. And that's what a manager really does, to be honest.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, Schmoedown's always been trying to balance that line between sports and wrestling, the show. So I think that's what if you're going to make out a live card, you got to have the championship match, and then you got to have that fun match also that gets characters involved. Like I think the New York event this year was great. You had the three-way Merle versus Shazam, pretty much. But the undercard was you got someone like Andrew Guy who's going to bring the fans out with his antics and everything else against Ryan Burnett. Doesn't want to see that match, even though it's not going to be the greatest trivia match. It's still going to be characters like.
Right.
Love it.
Right. Absolutely. It'll be great. And usually is.
I mean, you don't have to be great at trivia to be on a live event. Josh McCouga sold tickets. There were people waiting to run around with their Wildberries t-shirts, you know? Like
what it is.
That's why he got on a live event.
Absolutely. That's why he got on the live event. 100%.
So you got to sell the product.
Yep. You amp up the crowd. That's exactly what happens. You know, Hulk Hogan was on every single Madison Square Garden card back in like the 80s. Yep. Every single one of them. Because they knew he was going to be there. He sold tickets. They're like, who cares who he wrestled? Just get him there. Or he's going to do an interview with Gene Okerlund in the back. They'll make sure that they know that Hogan's going to be in the building, period. Right.
Absolutely.
That's the reason why Ric Flair is like a 17-time champion. Because he main evented every event for like 6 years in a row.
And
he would drop the title on Friday and whatever podunk town they were in. And then when they're at the Omni on Atlanta, he'd win the title back every Sunday. So
it's amazing stuff. Flair's the best. Flair, he wrestled like every single day of the week. Like they think he found anywhere to wrestle. Like, hey Rick, you want to wrestle over here in Omaha, Nebraska? Like, yeah, who am I wrestling? Like, don't worry about it. I'll be there. I'll be there.
Send me a limo.
Well, that was he was in the territory days. He's back in the territory days, so he's flying to whatever random Bob's Podunk Wrestling of East Cheyenne, Wyoming, to wrestle their champion every and then he's flying to the next place to wrestle their champion.
Totally agree.
Well, let me ask you, you've been to the live events now, and you said it's a big part of the Schmoedown. What is your fan interaction? Have you had any funny fan interactions with the ones that you like the most, or
really good guys? There's some really fun fans. When you first start to go into these live events and things, you see a person for the first time, you don't really know who they are, and it's not like celebrities or anything like that, they're like G-list or something. But I think it's the way we sort of look at it. I mean, I'm an A-list celebrity, everybody else,
right?
Absolutely.
But the way then you start seeing faces again. Then again and again and again, and then you start, watching like shows like your guys and other fan-orientated shows that people actually travel and come to the thing, and then you start knowing and be like, hey, Christian, like, hey, this is this guy. He runs this, that, and the other thing. And I'm like, oh, cool. And then next thing you know, people become, it's not even fans anymore. It's like almost like friends in a really cool community. And I think a lot of people are missing out by not being part of things like this. But it's a really fun environment, and it gives a lot of people a chance to shine and travel a little bit, and families can come together. And I think that's really great. And that's why it's a shame this thing had to get derailed at this point. So.
Absolutely. I did want to ask about one specific interaction. The one interaction I did have to ask about. We heard the story from one side. I kind of want to hear it from your side. I believe it was Atlanta, and Jake Iacovetta had to smuggle in something to you. We heard his side. I want to kind of
there. Whoa! Let me just preface this real fast. All right. So this is the start of the story from my perspective. Mm-hmm. First of all, I'm driving Jake Iacovetta and a couple other people to the show. Right. Jake Iacovetta gets a call from Ben Bateman. We don't. It's a dry green room right now. We need some alcohol.
Yeah, that's correct.
So
that is correct.
Of course, I forgot I'm working with amateurs, and they just think they're going to walk in with like 2 handles of liquor.
Yeah.
To the event, and they get stopped. So then, that's what you don't
call.
send amateurs for this sort of smuggling operation.
Right. I was like, I mean, they weren't even like small little liquor bottles. They were like giant 175s of like Patron. I was like, what in the world? I'm like, come to the side door over here. I said, face the door where you're going to go in, go to the right, make a left. You'll see me outside. I'm wearing a pair of silver reflector Gucci. You can't. So
the best is we tell Bateman that we can't get in, and his immediate response is, "Let me talk to Gucci."
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. So I'm like, what does he got? They're like, he got Jameson, a bottle of vodka, and Patron. I'm like, okay, give me Jake's number. Like, I'm calling him right now. I need to get on the phone with him right now. So we got on the phone, and I told him to meet outside. And now there was a lot of security out there and a lot of other shit going on. And we were like, damn, okay. I was like, let me go down. So I grabbed a sweatshirt that I had, and there was so much liquor, I only can grab one bottle at a time. Because I was like, damn, I got to go back. And it wasn't even a close walk. It was like stairs. It was pretty decent, hike. So I'm like, shit. All right, let me see how we could do this. So I went down and grabbed that. I think I grabbed the Patron first. That's what I wanted. And then came back downstairs, grabbed the Jameson, and then grabbed the vodka. It was pretty amazing stuff. And we drank a lot of it, and we brought it all back to Ellis's place. I think that later on that night. It was pretty amazing stuff. It was sick, that was like 30 pack of Bud Light. Damn. Now we can't it was only me and David up there.
It wasn't my side.
Yeah,
see, that's why you need me, because my sweatshirt you could have smuggled all that in.
Yeah,
you skipped away, folks.
Yeah. Well, the thing was, they were selling liquor right next to our dressing room. So it's like I go to the lady. I'm like, hey, can I get 2 cups with ice? She's like, for what? And I'm like, oh, we got Gatorade in there that he needs it for. She's like, what are you guys doing? And we're like, oh, we played a show, this and that. And she wound up watching the show. She liked it a lot. She was a nice girl. Her name was Precious.
That was a weird night because that was the theater or the orchestra was going on. So you have the sweaty Schmodown fans in their t-shirts and cargo shorts. And then you have the people going to the opera in their minks and their like best up.
Totally.
It's a good mix.
Yeah. No, it was a great time in Atlanta. And it's upsetting. That, like I said, we used to be rude. We would have just been getting back from Houston, a couple of days ago. Which would have been a thing. That
was the live event. I think that kind of crystallized how we do live events as a community.
Yeah.
Because it's the event where after the Schmodown, we all went to that tiny little bar.
Well, a lot of people don't know is that wasn't meant to be the Schmodown after party. That was actually supposed to be a party for the Patreon members of the Action Army. It was a Team Action Patreon.
Yeah, that's all it was. That's all it pretty much was.
But all I think I know is everybody showed up there, which was fine. We loved it. It was just like,
you had 7 patrons. There was 150 people there.
We were all living big. It was big. Yeah. We go hard on live events. It's you get away from your home and you start acting a little crazy. It happens all the time.
Jake Jacobetta starts buying shots or 1.5 ounce clear pours if they let us do shots.
Yeah, that was pretty amazing stuff. Jake has lived up to the hype. That's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
You got to meet Jake's mom in Orlando because you entrusted the Gucci bag to her.
That's exactly what happened. Yes, that was
It started at $200 Gucci bag, and by the end of the night was a $2,500 Gucci bag.
Yeah, I think I might have said $25,000. I don't even know what I was talking about. But yes, that was definantly Jake's mom. That was Houston, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Orlando.
Orlando. Yeah. Orlando. Yep. Yeah. Orlando was great. Yes. Great time.
So great. That was.
We
all got to watch Harloff's heartbreak when the Yankees got beat, and it was.
I think Orlando was one of my favorite ones so far. Orlando was one of my favorites. New York was really good.
New York's always good.
Yeah, New York was funny as well. The second time I went, because I didn't go to the last one with Guy and them.
Right.
I just went to the one that we had over there with whoever it was, like Dan, somebody, I don't know, whatever.
Right.
Anyway, but yeah, great show.
It is a great fun show.
Yeah.
New York's good. All right, I think it's time we go on to our next segment here. A little segment called This or That. You know it, you love it. I will be giving Mr. Gucci two different things. You can choose between them. You can ask for clarification. You don't have to. You can pretty much do whatever you want with it. It's basically, I'll say two things and then leave it to you.
I like
some of them are for you. Some of them are for just regular Action Army stuff. And if anybody in the chat wants to throw some in using the super chat function, we will add them to that segment anytime you'd like. And then afterwards, we will start looking into Streamlabs and chat questions per usual. So. Cool. With no further ado, the first question we always ask, because it's kind of a loaded question considering you manage one of them, but maybe after this latest cutscene, you might have a different opinion. You'll have to say. I'd start out with: are you Team Guy now, or are you Team Trader?
I mean, look, I think you gotta, I mean, Burnett's a moron, he just is. You really got to go with. You have to go with. I have to go with Guy. I mean, look, he got me my mask back, which is something that nobody else accomplished. Nobody else could do.
I agree with that. He got your mask back. That is the important thing you have to remember. I love it.
Huge.
Okay. All right. How about this? Schwarzenegger or Stallone?
I mean, come on. It's look. Don't get me wrong. I like Arnold. He's a great guy. But
which Stallone, Frank or
that's the better question.
I'll do the combination, Frank and Sly together. How about that? Double team.
Oh my God! Well, no, Sly stays. I mean, Sly. We need Sly in this world. Schwarzenegger, he's done some interesting things, and I would say, besides Rocky and Rambo, Schwarzenegger's had some really, really probably better movies than Stallone. I would say, like Total Recall and Raw Deal. Just really good stuff. Commando and Terminators and things like that. But are you talking movies, or just person?
Whatever you want to do, we can do both. Movies. We'll start with movies.
I mean, you just got to lean towards. I mean, Rocky and Rambo are my top 5, and no other Schwarzeneggers are in my top 5. So you got to go. You got to go Stallone.
All right, then go. How about people then? Since you brought it up, how about just as people?
As people,
because I know you've met both of them, right? You probably hung out with both of them at some point or another.
I've seen Schwarzenegger. I never talked to him. I've seen Stallone once or twice. Gave him like a what's up, this, that, and the other thing. But me and Frank actually hung out a lot.
Right.
And, Frank is an interesting character. I've never seen anybody drink so many vodka cranberries in under like 40 minutes than him. He's got kicked out of places. He's like, hey man, you ever shoot a Howister and you go down in the Georgia woods and take out some rabbits? I'm like, not this week, Frank. So but I did go to see a couple of his shows at Patello's, and he plays up in Beverly Glen over there as well. He's a fantastic guy and a very, very interesting individual and a real Renaissance man, to be honest. Probably even a bigger Renaissance man than Sly. I would rather probably hang around. Well, I've already did. Hanging around with Frank is an experience. I could see Stallone being a little toned down. He's got kids and a little bit of this and that. I mean, Stallone back in the day, both were just rampaging out. And my buddy was an assistant for a guy over there that knew Stallone, and some of the stuff that he used to do was just unprecedented stuff. So,
and Frank was great in Tombstone.
I
told him that all the time. I tell Frank that all the time. I'm like, dude, people don't even know you're in Tombstone. He's like, these motherfuckers, they don't know shit around here.
We do our.
He gets stabbed. He's Ned Bailey. Is that what his name is? I think something like that.
He's got a. It's funny because he met the director in a hot tub. And the guy was like, "You got a great look for a Western or whatever." And he's like, "Cool, I'm in." And Frank thought he was kidding. And next thing you know, they're filming Tombstone. Because Frank was done. He wasn't doing anything. He did Barfly with Mickey Rourke and a couple other movies, but most of his stuff was going straight to DVD. And then now he's doing a big movie like Tombstone, which was great.
Yeah, absolutely. We do have our first super chat at this or that.
Nice.
Madonna, the Patriots or the Founding Fathers?
Ooh, see, that's a big one. That's a big question, man. That's a $20 question.
I'll fair share it first. Yeah. $18.
Yeah, it's fair. I mean, look, nothing could top. I thought the Lions Den was when you say the Lions Den, it's Patriots and me. You know what I mean? What and Draco and Grace,
Donica.
Donica and all those.
Donica. Yeah.
It wasn't. There was only three of us. There was only really three of us. It was me and the Patriots, and that's what everybody wanted to see. To go on an unprecedented run like that, be it as you may, the league has gotten a lot better. They were also, they played Atchity and Great Drake and, top 10 a couple of times and, whoever else they played. And not to take anything away from those guys. But the league is a little harder now. I kind of would lean toward, and you're playing with Dan Murrow. But look, me and JT.
They beat above the line.
Yeah, they did. They beat above the line. They beat really, really good teams. And just for the sheer fact that I've managed them more. There you go.
$18. You got the $20 question. All right.
There it is. I was definitely, I'm gonna have to lean towards the Patriots just because of the pure joy of winning my first belt with them was pretty unbelievable. And I think you saw you saw the happiness in Snyder and JTE's face. And I think they really started to solidify what the team league is now.
Right.
And that was some of the best stuff that was there. And those guys were fantastic, great personalities. And, we were the biggest heels in the thing, and we just kept winning, and people hated it. And it was great.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll throw it in there the next day. It's a similar question now, but who's the boss of the Founding Fathers?
Ooh,
you had to pick. You had to pick now.
Who's putting these questions? Is this Roca putting the questions in?
He does have a ghost account somewhere, and I'm sure.
It's Roxy's burner account. He's trying to sow more discontent.
Exactly. I'll screenshot it on Twitter.
It's Hoxie Nair. I don't know who that is.
Next thing you know, the guy's next door. That's a tough question, man. I think at this point, you got. I always say this: you got to go with the champs. They're there. They're fantastic, and they're fun to manage. Now, do I love managing who's the boss as well? Oh yeah, for sure. We all helped. Bateman was floundering. Riley was basically out of the league. They put them together, and we went on a great historic run. We probably should have beat the odd couple. There was a couple of different things that happened there, and that would have really made everything great. But I'm gonna have to go with the Founding Fathers at this point for the simple fact that they're the champions, and you can't not pick a champion. That's it.
You're a champ till you get beat.
Okay,
that's exactly right. Yeah.
There it is. I'm gonna clarify that question now. To that, if they're playing a match right now, who do you think wins? Now, better. You got to pick the champions are better right now, but right now they're going up against each other. Whose strategy, knowledge-wise?
You got to think that it's basically you got to think Merle and Bateman almost cancel each other out in a certain sort of way, just by the sheer fact of what you saw them do in Atlanta. Down to the final question. I said that before the match was going, and I said that on a couple of different shows. I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised if this match goes into triple overtime, sudden death, 40 questions in the sudden death, and it went whatever it was 2 or 3. But I don't know. I don't know. I think you still got to go with the champions here. You still got to go with the champions until it takes them off them. Then that's what it is. And we had our opportunity against, the odd couple and couldn't get it done. Yep. They were able to get it done. And, that's the big deciding factor there, I would say,
You got your vengeance, though. You guys got your revenge over the odd couple.
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
Schneider wearing that shirt was your revenge, actually. Him wearing that youth medium Cubs jersey that he was wearing.
I tried to put him and JT on weight training programs, but they just kept eating steak. They were not big guys.
He thought a weight training program was he had to wait to eat before he trained.
Yeah, I was instead of eating popcorn every day at the movies, do something else.
All right, I got a couple other ones still here. We'll go back to this. Apollo Creed or Action Jackson?
Oh, Jesus. Apollo Creed is one of my favorite characters of all time, no question. And he's in four movies. not just one.
That's true. He should have had
Stallone's
more action jacks.
one regret was killing off Apollo Creed.
That's right.
Yeah, scary.
That's right. I agree with him. He shouldn't have killed him.
Yeah.
All right. Now, obviously, you won Manager of the Year, so I'm going to take you out of the equation.
Yep.
Roxy.
Yep.
Or Kaiser.
Kaiser.
You think Kaiser's a better manager?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I'm not saying he's a better drafter, maybe. But I think he's definitely a better manager. Look, he's had Oyama, and look at he turned Smets into a complete. Smets is an animal. Like, I don't know if anybody's touching that guy. And they work really well together. Roxy's good on camera. She can do her thing. But Kaiser studies the game. He knows what's up. I think what you see out of him is he has a real fire, and he's trying to win. Like, when he came to me the other day, he's like, dude, I'm not doing too well this year. I'm like, you just gotta, it's not your fault just yet. It's still early. And he takes it personally, and I think he has a little more heart, a little more moxie and desire to actually win. I don't think it's going to break Roxy's life if they lose, although she has heart and desire too. I don't want to take that away from her.
She's a Bostonian though, and they get super competitive.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. But I would give the nod to Kaiser at this point. But she's up there in the managers. She's in the top 10.
I got a quick one for you.
Top
10. Jeez.
Yeah,
she does lurk occasionally, so I'm sure that if she is lurking tonight, she's gonna pop in at this point. But
well,
she's in a group chat right now with Roka and
yeah, exactly. Hilarious.
That's why she actually set this whole thing up so that she could have some time with your squad.
I could see it.
It's all shenanigans.
Hilarious. I love it.
Okay, I got a few.
I have a quick one for you,
Tom.
Kevin Mitchell or Lenny Dykstra?
Ooh,
oh my God,
that's a good one.
Well, here's the deal. I'm in negotiation with Lenny Dykstra to play a character in Little Bobby and the Juice, because he follows me on Twitter and answers me back. So I'm like, hey, Lenny, would you be interested in this? And he's like, how much money are we talking? And I'm like, well, I don't know if we're talking anything yet. Well, in the episode, he's running an undercover. He's running a cork bat league. So, and he has cork bats in his garage, but he also has like steroids and other things. But that's just a front for his real job, which is a webcam guy. So he rents out these little cardboard areas in his house in a basement, and there's like webcam girls and things like that. So that's where he makes his real money. But there's also cork bats. Yeah.
Slovenian webcam girls.
Yeah, the webcam girls are there, and there's some interesting stuff that happens in that one. I forgot the name. I forgot what I named that one, but I'll get it to you guys. But it's pretty amazing, and I got to get a doll that kind of looks like Lenny Dykstra, and plus I think Kevin Mitchell like used to behead cats or something. He was like a murderer or something, like murdered cats. Or something. Yeah, that's weird. He made some great plays, and he was a great player. But they also traded him because they thought he was the problem. In the '86 season with Gooden and the Coke and Strawberry and all those guys, because Mitchell was from the hood. And he fought everybody and was a pretty legit guy. And they got Kevin McReynolds back and whoever else. But I mean, Mitchell went on to be one of the best players in the National League for a good 5 years.
Well, he was on that Giants team that went to the World Series too.
He was in '89. Yes,
that's right.
Yeah. San Diego got rid of him because he's from San Diego, and they're like, we don't want him hanging out where he lives because it ain't going to work. So that's what usually happens.
Yeah. All right. A little bit. How about a little bit Men at Work? Charlie Sheen or Emilio Estevez?
I watched that the other day, actually.
Bateman. Wow.
I know. I watched it. I was like, "There's no way he's not." It's like, "Well, you have to get it." So I watched it the other day, and it was unbelievable. So let's think about this. You know what? I met Charlie a couple of times, and he was always really nice to me. Very nice guy, even before and after the Tiger Blood. Stuff. And
did he get his Tiger Blood from Tiger King?
He might have. Did a couple other things too. So the way I see it, I mean, just on the simple fact of Major League 1 and 2 and all the Hot Shots movies, and plus, my girlfriend's aunt lives in Malibu, and Emilio Estevez lived next door, and she said he wasn't really that nice of a guy. I'm gonna go with Charlie Sheen, obviously.
Charlie Sheen. Okay, fair enough. How about
Speaking of having just watched a show right before the Schmodown event, is it true that the reason why you won the Manager Bowl is because you forced your girlfriend to watch the Tony Scott movie, and that's how you knew that Tony Scott directed that?
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. And then I saw it, and we were going to watch it. And I'm like, let's leave it on, let's leave it on, let's leave it on. And then it said, she's like, no, we were going to watch something else. And before we shut it off, it said directed by Tony Scott, or else I would have not known that.
Nice.
Yeah. It's 100% true. Little things like that happen,
However, you got to win.
I didn't think Bateman would. I was like, I guess he just meant it work as a movie that just I guess slipped his mind, But Dan didn't know. Dan wasn't really too confident in it either. He thought it was somebody else as well. So yeah, that's what Dan said. He's like, I wasn't 100% confident it was Emilio Estevez. So
Bateman said he thought it was Emilio Estevez, and then thought himself out of it.
Yeah, that's what happens. Sometimes you can't think too much.
All right. Whiskey or tequila?
Presently tequila at this point. Yeah, it's been a tequila quarantine for me, and it's been really good. And then I do. I'm really alkalining myself with lemon and a lot of apple cider vinegar and all kinds of elderberries and oil of oregano that Jake likes. I was going to get Jake some oil of oregano and other really good things. It's actually really it's really fun. It's just in ginger shots and garlic cloves, all kinds of stuff. I'm floating. I'm good.
Awesome.
Are you on that alkaline water kick? Are you on that?
Yeah, I got it right here. And then I douse
8.8 pH.
Yeah, I douse it with 2 lemons.
2 lemons.
Nice.
Yeah, 2 lemons. It's what Mickey Mantle used to do. He would get drunk and show up the next day.
Among other things.
Like Mickey's drunk. They would get him a giant a jug of water, and he'd squeeze 12 lemons in it and down the whole thing like Paul Giamatti from Sideways when he drank the Merlot. So, or whatever he was drinking from the spittoon. But yeah, that's what he used to do, and it shocks the system, and it gets you right up, man. I'm telling you, it works.
Okay. All right. Got 1 or 2 more here. New York pizza or Chicago pizza?
I wasn't really impressed with the Chicago pizza, to be honest with you. I mean, we went to a place where everybody said was good. What was it called? It was a place we all went to in Chicago. I'm not really sure, but it was the best place where they say they have the best deep dish pizza, like Ligatano.
Oh,
it was like chain restaurant.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah. I was like, how does a chain restaurant have the best pizza? I go, get me out of here. So although I love Chicago, but I didn't like it. But yeah, New York pizza is way better in a way where it's not too much. Like that big double juice. I can't eat that. I can't even eat that.
Lasagna.
Yeah, I don't want.
You can't eat it walking down the street in New York at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Exactly. Just boom, boom, boom. You're done. And that's the way it should go. And I know a bunch of really good places in New York where I go get pizza. Like Christian took me to that VIP and a bunch of other ones. And yes, there's no question about it. Yeah, that's what it is. Malinati's. Yeah, Lou Malinati's.
There we go.
Chain restaurant.
There we go. All right. All right.
But yes, New York pizza, 100%.
Okay.
I'll take saying it.
Lil Bobby or the Juice?
The Juice shows really up well on camera. The DP in me is like, I love shooting Juice. He's so photogenic. Bobby's a little tough to shoot with because he's a bigger doll, and he's also the mask shades him a little bit. And Juice fits. Although Bobby's clothes are better because it's hard. Juice is it's considerably smaller, so I have to really kind of play with Juice's clothing. They both show up really well on camera. I like Bobby's a great protagonist. I think I'll lean on the side of Juice on this because as I'm writing, he's always like the butt of the joke and like the imbecile, and I kind of like that person. And then Bobby just beats him down all the time. I feel sorry for the Juice, and I'm going to pick the Juice.
I like it. All right, so we're going to end this or that this time. So thank you very much for that. We're going to move on to chat questions, and we will also get into the Streamlabs questions that I have. I don't know if a few of them have come in, but chat, you can start writing your questions now, and Kelsey will notate them, and we will read them off as we get to them. First off, what we do while we're waiting, also, I'll plug our shows. This week, we will actually, we're taking a late week on Call Action this week. We didn't have Call Live this week. We did not going to have Schmo Bates this week. They're going to take a week off of that as well. We do have AAA with Dylan and Nat on Thursday. I don't know if they have a topic figured out yet, so we'll go with that. And that's all I really have to plug this week because I'm not sure what's going to happen on Chill. We have a couple of people in the pipeline that I'm trying to schedule out, but I will let you know as soon as I know.
Awesome.
And so, all right, let's go to the Streamlabs and Super Chats that we got through there. We got a couple of them at least. Like I said, anybody else have any questions, throw them in there, and Kelsey will notate them for me. Looks like the first one was Chris Hall donated $1 an hour ago, and does actually ask the question, who manages when who's the boss inevitably plays founding father?
I mean, look, we'll have to cross that bridge when we get to it. I don't know. I mean, that's the thing. That's a $60,000.
He's gonna let Roxy and Kaiser manage one of the two teams,
exactly.
So they get a chance to feel what it's like to manage good teams.
Maybe after the quarantine, I'd be able to duplicate myself, and then see if I can make that happen. That's the only way I would.
That's
never
what all that alkaline's for. You need all that alkaline to.
Bobby Gucci manages one, Finstock manages the other, kind of thing.
That could be something that could work too. And the thing is, it all comes down to the challenges and what other people can possibly see that other people don't. That's really honestly what it comes down to. I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know if I can answer that question because there's no real answer to it at this point. Because it would have to be. You can't go managerless. But maybe I bring them both down to the squared circle, but don't not interact with them in a certain way because I can't tell them like what to do if there's a spinner's choice there or whatever to say like, hey, I think these guys know that. Now they're good enough players to get to a point where Bateman knows every single person's weakness in the league, and he knows the janitor's weakness. He knows everybody, but he doesn't really need that. He just needs the look in his eyes to give him the confidence that he knows that he has that just can keep going forward with it. Same with Riley, John, and Dan's also students of the game. They don't sit there and if they have an opponent coming up, they're going to sit there and watch that guy's every single match. They're going to watch his tendencies. They're going to watch how he operates. That's what these guys do. I mean, that's how they play. That's how we're taught. That's how we've learned through the game. That's how you become champions. That's why a lot of other factions won't ever have champions because they don't do that. They don't take it seriously enough. They're not playing the game. They're just sitting there going, oh, let me do some trivia and do this and do that. No, it takes a lot more than that, especially how the game has evolved.
Absolutely. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Good answer. Let's see.
Who would have thought that in this Moneyball era of the Schmodown that Bob Finstock would be the Brad Pitt character, and that Ben Bateman would be the Jonah Hill character.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it comes down to. Pretty amazing stuff.
That's insulting. That's insulting, Bobby. I mean, Brad Pitt is no Bobby Gucci.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. He's clearly. They're both. Ben's going up to be Jonah Hill, and Bob's going to be Brad Pitt. So. Out.
That's truth. That's the truth.
True enough. Fair enough. Mm-hmm. All right, what else we got in here? Lucas did do a super chat for $2.69 just to say hey. Brandy donates just hi. Hi, Brandy. Thank you. Part is just
answer the question.
We're getting that money. Hey, the money is flowing in because we got the money guest. All right, that's what happens.
The way to do it. Way to do it.
They get intimidated. They just want to throw money at you. That's it. And,
it's all in singles, though. It's amazing how that works.
You know how Gucci works.
Gucci works.
Currency change.
It's the truth.
Artist Jessa Dawson, congrats on Streamlabs and Super Chats. Thank you. Jake Yakavetta, still wondering what the fuck oil of oregano is. He's still wondering.
It's a cure-all.
You don't have that in Enterprise, Alabama?
Yeah, oregano. Yeah, that's where he's at.
Fair enough. Jeremiah Morris donated to attack me. PLD is not a thing. It will never be a thing. Sorry, Jeremiah. If you read the chat, read that right there. It says PLD, so it is the thing.
Let's say PLD.
Yeah, what did you write
that? Billy, you're just mad. Don't be a hater, Billy. Don't be a hater.
Yeah.
Let's see. Ferris Madonna donated saying the man, the myth, the Gucci. All hail Bobby Finstock. We talked that one earlier. Denzel of PC donated saying Denzel Washington, yay.
Oh yeah, okay. That's from Bobby and the Juice.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right. That's right. Okay. That's right. That's right.
Amazing. So many sound bites came out of that show.
That's right. Ferris Madonna again. Thank you, Ferris. Really helping us out here. How is the baby Panther Gucci? Is she doing well?
It's a he. Yeah, he's somewhere. They're both somewhere. They're acting up. I think they're outside. They don't like to come in here. This is my office. It's off limits for them.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, wait a minute. I think I got them.
Oh. They're stalking something. Their prey somewhere.
Hold on. Give me one.
Okay. And guest artist, I got your name right. It took me like 2 months, 3 months, maybe. Jessa Dawson. I always said Jessa Dawson or Jessa something. I already said something different, but I finally got it right. Let's see.
Oh, Partisan.
Yeah.
No, he ran.
No, he ran. Of course.
He's tough to find.
Okay.
He's shady.
Are you a cat guy or a dog guy?
I mean, I'm a dog guy, but somebody else isn't. Somebody else.
Oh man,
I like them. I've started to like them because we got them when they were young. I was like, listen, we're going to sit back and get cats. I want to do anything I want to do here. Like I want to be able to touch their tails. I would touch their bellies. Like if the cat said does anything to me, and just give them a little, do. So, but when you get them young, you can do anything you want to them. So, because she had a 19-year-old cat that you couldn't touch anywhere, like it would bite you, and it just didn't like it, and never did because they didn't teach them properly. When you're young like that, it's like you're shaping a young cat's mind, a young panther's mind. So you get it to a point where you show them who's boss, and then touch them anywhere you want, and they're fine. They're just really fast, and I can't catch them.
Fair.
It's like Rocky chasing the chicken.
Chicken, right?
Yeah.
Speed.
It's funny because Rachel Cushing was recently on Roxy's stream, and she's engaged to Sam, and Sam is definitely allergic to cats, and Rachel has a cat.
Not even a question. Yes.
Yeah, like
it's a tough, and she's not budging, and neither is he.
You're working it out.
Yeah, I mean, my buddy. I'm allergic to certain kinds of cats, almost like mangy, bigger ones that like the fur really comes out. Yeah, like the big like the whatever they're called. Them I could sneeze 30 times in a row. But dude, that would be good.
Somewhere.
I have found I actually am pretty damn allergic to cats myself, but I find if you take a cat in and you suffer for those 3 weeks, you get used to the dander.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
I think that's what's happening. That's what's happening to me for sure. Yeah,
pretty much. So
yeah.
All right, Kelsey, that was it for these Streamlabs questions. Now, Kelsey has some regular chat questions if you want to start throwing them up there. Okay, Dean Morgan in there. What's your favorite match that you've managed?
Ooh, that's a good one. I would probably venture to say the Patriots top 10 when they won the championship for the first time.
Right.
I think the enthusiasm was so crazy there, and that's when we were the Lions Den. That's when we really started coming at that. I had the mask. I had that crazy jacket. That was pretty unprecedented. And I also think probably second would probably be probably the Merle Bateman match. I mean, Jesus, that was such a good match to manage. It was so, even being a manager and being on the teams of these guys, like I said earlier, you're like on the edge of your seat because you're fans of these guys while managing them and just watching such brilliance in answering these trivia questions and the preparation that goes on beforehand, of sitting in these quarantined offices for like 3 hours, just going over everything about the game without psyching yourself out. It's pretty impressive to watch. And like I said, I don't think anybody does that kind of stuff other than, maybe a couple of other guys in the league can really get down with it as well. But the way these guys put together, forget about it. Oh, there he is. Oh, man, there he is.
Oh, the meeting with Roxy must be over.
Roxy's over.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe John Dagnino telling you to be traded now.
Yeah.
The trade.
Very diplomatic.
Very nice.
That was people thought that top 10 was going to be the team to go on that run, and that's
true.
Jeff Snyder pulled an answer out of his rear end.
He pulled John Voight. Was it John Voight?
Pulled John Voight out of his ass.
Definitely John Voight. It was pretty amazing stuff. That was a fantastic match. Really good, and everything was there. The tension was there, and I think this kind of match that made the Schmodown take off in a lot of ways.
That's definitely one of the key first matches. Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic match.
It also the Patriots run, as amazing as it is, shows you like how there is an element of luck, or like things have to go your way to win, matches. Even if you're Dan Murrell, like things still have to go your way. Because the Patriots, honestly, they should have lost to Atchity and Gray Drake. If Atchity doesn't stay in character, they win that match because he kept stumbling in the speed round because he was doing the bit with the character.
Yes.
And it lost the points, and then they lose the match.
Yeah, when they were playing Matilda and the other guy, right? When they were Matilda, whatever they were.
The Moose and Squirrel, Russian people, or whatever.
Matilda, whatever she is. Yeah. They wouldn't get out of it. They were just that's the thing. You gotta, when you're playing a character like that, that's why I don't draft anybody who comes in like giant costumes and like these other crazy things, because I think it really takes away from what you're doing. You get like a Oroku who has the outlaw vibe. That's a real character. Dan has his flannels and his look, but he just comes in ready to play. Bateman wears suits to like the dentist. So it's like that's who he is as well. Riley's got his Superman thing, just wears the jacket. These guys don't go overboard, and no disrespect to them. I think it takes away from some of the gameplay. Barbarian's got his little Elvis. We got every one of the guys have one little gimmick. That's all we roll with. We make sure the trivia is first and foremost, and then that's pretty much the way it goes. And belts and winning gold. That's all we really care about at this point. Yes, it is Boris and Natasha. He's right.
Well, it's also all of their characters are extensions of themselves for the most part. Yeah. So it's easier to be in character, to play the character and do the trivia, because it's still there's no disconnect there.
Right. And I found that a lot of the women still play a lot of the characters a little more, which is fine. It's you'll get Emily came in as a Ghostbuster, and Gray Drake comes in she always comes in with something. I'm not going to tell anybody not to do it. But I think just play one character, like Rachel and Clark used to come in and all the things, and very creative, and Janine, very creative stuff. But like I said, it's about winning the game. You
got to find the balance. We had Lon Harris on here a couple of weeks ago, and he's the same thing, and he loves his character, but when the trivia round starts, he kind of tends to low key turn it down.
Right. That's a character though. Right. That's not playing dress up.
That's true. Okay, very true.
That's the thing. It's like we're not sitting here. I don't really like the dress up angle of it all. When everything first started, that's the kind of way we were trying to get people drawn into it. I mean, I dressed in like a priest outfit, this, that, and the other thing. I mean, we were doing some interesting stuff, but it's like. And that's what kind of Christian wanted, to people to come in with some personalities and things like that. But I just didn't think he understood. That's just, I'm not going to play dress up here. It doesn't work that way. I have my style, but it's no, I'm not like Tom Hanks in like A League of Their Own or something. You know what I mean? That's not what I'm doing.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. I got one from the chat that kind of disappeared, but it's here now. Ryan Kramer asks, please ask Tom when he's going to appear on Live at the Roxy. Thanks.
I mean, look, she always talks like she wants me on the show. I don't really think she can. I don't think she can handle me on a show. She ain't ready for that. Plus, when women get on a show, I get a little different. It becomes something,
Okay.
Yeah. I got that. The homie.
There we go. There's that little
Panther.
panther.
Look, buddy.
Aw, that's adorable.
He's a good one. He's a good guy.
All
This is what's his name? Who paid the cash to see the baby?
That would be Ferris Muthana paid the $5 for that one.
He likes this
There
stuff.
you go.
I just throw him every day.
All right, I think Kelsey, you said you had one more question in the chat, possibly. I think Mike Deacon, how many lithium batteries can you carry at once?
Oh man, yeah. Well, he knows me. I guess he knows me from Houston. I mean, not Houston, Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Yeah, I run a walkie-talkie business. It's very successful. It's going to be the biggest walkie-talkie business in Los Angeles if I can get it back. Everything gets back to normal. I'm going to be the only guy with a UV light kind of suitcase that you put the walkies in, and they all get sanitized. And I'm going to lead with that. But apparently, Delta or whatever how we flew on, some shitty airline, where like you can't have the walkies in the cargo. The walkie could be there, but not the lithium battery. So I'm sitting at the airport thinking this is going to go all smooth. I have 90 batteries in there. So I have 70 walkies and like 20 spares. And I mean, this is heavy. This is some heavy shit. I had to put 90 batteries in 90 batteries in a carry-on. Yeah. Oh yeah. I got destroyed. They were looking for. Then I went to the the TSA thing. Bro, it was. They put me over. They were grabbing everything. I was like, look, if you guys want to see it here, I'll whip it out for you. I have nothing in my pockets here. They're like, what is that? They're like, what is that? I'm like, it's me, bro. They're like, and then like Ellis was coming through, and a couple other people were on the same plane. They're like laughing. They're like, what's going on? And they see me getting just felt up. I was basically getting sexually assaulted over there. And they called like three other guys over there. And I'm like, why is everybody sitting here trying to do this? I'm like, I didn't do anything wrong. Like, sir, we have 90 batteries, that and the other thing. It was, and look, rightfully so. As long as we're staying safe on the planes, I don't really care. But it was the bag was like a really nice leather North Face bag. But yeah, it was probably about 95 pounds or something like that to carry on. And I was like, listen, there's no way you're not letting me on with this. I'm like, if I don't get this, I'm out $5,000, and that's not gonna fly.
That's gonna work.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Nice play.
Yeah. There you go.
All right, I got one more question before I gotta let Bobby go. Tom has an engagement. Dean Morgan, can you explain where you got the Finstock mask and maybe the origins of the character?
The Finstock mask I got in a place in Brooklyn called Scandinavian Grace. We were, I forget what I was. I think it was on like a one-night stand or something like that. And I took a girl out for breakfast because she was nice to me the night before. And she's like, hey, you got to go into the store. And I was like, oh, cool. Went in that store, and I was like, man, this thing is amazing. They had a red one and like a yellow one in that color. And I was like, this is pretty great. I think I'm going to get this one. I tried it on. She's like, that looks ridiculous. You should get it. And I'm like, should I really? I'm like, yeah, let me get it. And I brought it up to the checkout, and they were like, all right, it's like $175. I'm like, oh my God. But I didn't want to look like a punk in front of her. So I was like, yeah, I guess I got to buy this now. So I bought it. And then it was the best thing I've ever bought in my whole entire life. One of them. And then it's become iconic ever since. And I would just show up at people's houses with it on. I would dress up for Halloween. I mean, this is not the ones they sell in like Walmart and all those other kinds. This thing was made of real sheepskin and from Sweden. That's where it's from, and it has like the tags inside, or you can't read them. They're all Swedish. So bought that and wore it all the time, right? And just at random places and in my house, and finally Christian was like, hey, come on. And I was like, okay. I was like, I'm bringing a mask. He's like, yeah, bring the mask. And then my name was already Finstock from a bunch of different things, because we used to watch Teen Wolf all the time and drink and do other things. And the one guy was just yelling up. He's like, dude, you're Bob Finstock. He's like, that's exactly who the fuck you are in real life. And I was like, pretty much. And they just started calling me that from there on out. So when I put the mask on, it was just really simple. The 2 and 2 just came together, and that's how Finstock was pretty much born. And then we would just roll with it from there.
Perfect.
To be perfectly honest, because I didn't get into the Schmodown until season 4. I thought your name was actually Bob Finstock, and that Tom Dagnino was the character.
Yeah, I mean that's what Makuga did too. Makuga's like, "Yo, where's Bob Finstock?" They're like, "Who, you mean Tom?" He's like, "No, Bob Finstock." And he's like, that's Tom. He didn't know. He had no clue my name wasn't Bob. Not one.
That's
because the guys would call me Finstock all the time. They didn't call me Tom. So he had, he had no idea who the hell I was, and I wasn't introduced myself as Tom. He'd just hear it, be like, "Yo, Finstock." I'm like, "Yo, Josh, what's up?" And then he'd be like, "Yo, Bob," and then I'd be like, "That's not my real name." He had no idea, not even a clue.
Well, all right, guys, we're going to wrap this up. I do actually have Danny Joy has made her way back on. She's backstage. She's going to try to pop on just to say hi to everybody real quick. Danny, there you are. So your net's on for now? I can't hear you now, Danny.
Hi, everyone.
Are you there?
Hi. Thank you all so much. Big shout out to Tom Dagnino, Bobby Gucci, Bobby Finstock for coming in on Chill to Action. Super excited to have you in on this episode. We really, really appreciate your time. Thank you to every single person who donated to our Super Chat and to our Streamlabs. This is a big, important moment for a call to action, and we're very happy that everyone has been so supportive of our channel and all of that. So big shout out to the community. Thank you all so much. None of us would be able to do what we're doing without anyone who watches us right now. So huge thank you. And again, thank you to Tom Dagnino for being here.
Thank you. It was a pleasure. You guys are great. And thanks for being really good fans and really good people. Now it's transformed into not fans anymore, just friends. And that's a really great thing. And to see everybody out there contributing, especially in the times of despair for everybody. People need content like this to keep shows like this alive and shows like ours alive. And hopefully once we get out of this fucking piece of shit thing that we're calling life right now, back to whatever the new normal is, hopefully we get back to kicking some ass in the Finstock exchange and get the first place and win championships and do things that everybody expects us to do, because that's just the way it's going to happen.
And then shots will be on Jake.
Oh yeah, well
yes.
And I'll bring him some oil of oregano as well.
Yeah. Anything you want to plug there, Tom? Anything you want to place?
The second season of Bobby and the Juice, which right, and they're doing that now. The Finstock Exchange podcast. We have a couple of interesting things on the horizon involving me and a couple other guys on there. Try to get out there and do some real shit. Bring something different to the table. Follow me on Twitter. There's always something interesting going on. Instagram as well, at Bob Finstock or Little Bobby and the Juice. And I'm just going to keep rocking and rolling, making everybody happy, trying to be as sexy as I possibly can, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Danny. Any place they can find you? You want to plug anything? Maybe May 1st.
Y'all know me.
Maybe a May 1st show.
Y'all know me. You can find me on Twitter at DannyJoy, DANIEEJOY, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I was active in the chats. Go ahead and find me. I might say one more thing before I hop off. Go and click on my channel, because this Friday I am launching my very first show on my own YouTube channel. So go ahead and find that. It's called Watch the Book, where I talk about books and their movie adaptations, the similarities and differences, and any other thing you might not have known about it.
That's great. It's really nice to hear.
Show us real quick, Danny. You love books and showing people books on the.
I have a few.
I just finished reading The Alchemist.
Nice.
That's a great book.
It's a great book. It's a great book. It's a real book that puts a lot of things into perspective, and going and taking chances and living out your personal legend and not taking no for an answer, and just stepping out of your comfort zone and going for it. Sometimes it doesn't do good things, and sometimes it does.
It's about creating your own reality. I've always been a big fan of the term. Luck is just when preparation and opportunity meet. So
that's not a bad one. Like I said, I've always do things too. It's like, I'm always ready to show people what their eyes have failed to observe. And the way I look at it is, if I can sit back and give people the intestinal fortitude and the wherewithal and a push to be better, then that's really all that matters.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
All right. Billy, anything you want to plug for yourself?
Just follow me on Twitter at Mr. Billy Belford. I'll block you. It's fine. And, that's about it.
He blocked
Yeah.
Jeff Snyder. Jeff Snyder's the king of blocking.
He will.
Every single person. They're like, hey Jeff, how's a block? Hey Jeff, how's a good block? Everybody.
He'll take that as a challenge, Billy will.
Yeah,
so
I think I'm blocked too. Who knows? I don't think I've ever blocked anybody my entire life, including cock block. I never even done that either. So,
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you can find me at Paul_Denuzio. You can find me here every week. You can find me on the Action Industries YouTube channel, Ben and Drew's channel, where I do a show called Class Action on a weekly basis, putting 2 shows, movies, franchises up against each other and go in 5 categories and see which one wins. And I also have started my own YouTube channel called PLD Projects. I'll be sending out a link tonight to doing a test stream, just kind of very low key, very laid back as I try to develop my channel. And we'll go from there. So that's really it, folks. Thank you so much, Tom, again for coming on.
You got it, man. You got it.
Appreciate it.
You got it. And tell the other, what's Kelsey? Where's she?
Kelsey, yeah, Kelsey's in the background there.
Tell her I said-
You know, I'm going to put her on real quick because I'm going to put her on because she didn't expect to come on. But
I was going to ask her one more thing. You're the one who put the thing where somebody asked you. You said, "Hey, somebody wants Gucci," and you said something like 50% off. That's really funny. I like that. That's how you hanging around. 50%. I really was that your daughter? Oh, amazing. Maybe I'll have something for her next this year.
Kelsey, you're muted. Just so you know, Kelsey, I'd have gone enough to talk, but that's okay.
Yeah. My daughter that said that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, there you go. All right, guys.
All right, guys. Take care, everybody. Have a great night. We always
Good luck with trivia.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate that.
take care.